What's going on, beautiful people? Appreciate y'all tuning in yet again for another episode of the Respect the Game podcast. I am Edward. Make sure you stop whatever you're doing, and please go follow at Emax Stacks. And if you don't know by now, the reason my name is Edward is because I'm named after a great man. But I am absolutely Nathaniel on this podcast without the rest of my brothers. So, fellas, introduce yourself to the people.
Oh, this is Black Peace, host of...
Okay, Darnell is Isaac. Spot
It froze
today.
up
Go
at the
ahead,
same time,
Darnell.
bro. It froze up
You
at the
good,
same
brother?
time.
Go ahead.
I thought it was a stall on there. Yeah, this is
Go
Black
ahead,
Peace, co-host of Respect the Game podcast, and also host of Talking Smoke podcast. You can get that on Apple or Spotify. You know, there you go.
Don Hor Izzo, man. Y'all follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Charismatic Hood Excellence at its finest.
How you doing, beautiful people? My name is the one and only Celeste Xavier Miles, also known as Loud the Rapper. And on behalf of me and the brothers, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Please continue to tune in. Take it away, my nigga.
Yeah, man. Before we get into the podcast, man, I want to say thank you, and thank you again to everybody out there listening to us. Like I was saying, Sedacious, I know you told me people hit you up or you come in contact with people and they be bigging you up and saying they listen to our podcast. I've ran across people and talked to people earlier this week, and I was like, yo, we listening to you, man. Y'all be good. I like listening to y'all podcast. So sometimes I know for me personally, because like we not at like 1,000 views yet, or even like 500. I'd be like, I don't really know if people be tuned in. But people do be tuning in, man. We can't really focus on the numbers right now. We just got to keep our head down and keep putting out good content, keep having great conversations. So, beautiful people, sincerely, from all of us, thank y'all for listening. Share our stuff whenever y'all see it on y'all pages, on y'all feed or whatever. And appreciate y'all rocking with us thus far, man. Stay tuned with us.
Straight up.
Y'all probably... who's ever listening to this, you won't be getting it on this Tuesday of January 26th, but this is the day that we are recording it. And let me speak my piece before we really get into it. In the media world, today is the memorial and remembrance of Kobe Bryant and his daughter's unfortunate passing. But it is imperative, it is extremely significant and important that nobody who is a fan or follower of Kobe Bryant or friend or family member of Gigi forget that Kobe Bryant and his daughter was not the only two people on that plane when that plane crashed and it died. So do not forget that John Altobelli, Kerry Altobelli, Alyssa Altobelli, Sarah Chester, Peyton Chester, and if you can recognize all these people, some of these people had the same last name, so these were actually families on this plane. Christina Mazur and the pilot Ara Zobayan, and so those people also lost their lives on that plane with Kobe Bryant and his daughter and their families. Just how Vanessa Bryant and her daughters and the NBA world is mourning, so is the family members of the victims on that plane. So do not forget that. I know everybody, it's social media, and I know social media is extremely jaded. So I know everybody wants to get their post and their retweet off or Kobe this or Kobe that. But and we just really talking about being caring people in this world. It's not just about Kobe Bryant and his daughter. Like I said again, do not forget the people who also were on that plane and lost their lives, and who family members are also going through tragedy and still mourning their loss. So don't forget that. It is imperative that you not forget that. And I think if Kobe, I don't want to say if Kobe was alive, but I think Kobe would appreciate people acknowledging the families and the people who are also on the plane with him. So yeah. But with that, yeah, man, I know for me today, I didn't really care about it. And to be honest with you, the reason I didn't care about it is because, like, yeah, you gonna remind me when a great motherfucker died? for me, like I see why I don't just see why people do it. I understand the gesture and doing it, but for me, that's not the fondest. Like, let's celebrate his birthday. Let's celebrate the day he won a championship or he had the 81 points. But for me, I'm not really trying to be, and I know it's not necessarily it's not a celebration, but I'm not necessarily in like the hype of the remembrance of the day he died, because again, it's like people have seen with Vanessa Bryant, she's told people time and time again, yo, that shit is stressful. That shit is hard to get through when like it's still like, you know, it's still being like put out there on social media and so on and so forth. So like, I know people don't mean no ill will, or people don't mean no harm in like doing it and posting this and that and all the different media conglomerates like paying tribute. But I just think it's like and maybe I could just still be sensitive because it's still like a sore subject for me personally. But yeah, let's like celebrate and remember him on his birthdays and so forth. But like the anniversary of when he died, like I just don't see like how that's like the biggest like catchy like let's post all out Kobe to the out of. Yeah, but that's that's just my personal feelings towards it. But yeah, man.
My personal sentiments on the subject. Oh, okay. Well, my personal sentiments on the subject. Hell, man, whenever you can celebrate the man, the late, the great, the kid who did, the man with the plan, the guy with all of the spry and fly and super live moves, man, I feel like you should go ahead and take that opportunity to do it. Whether it be, you know, unfortunately the anniversary of his death, but I do think every day is a causation for celebration, you know, for somebody of his stature, and really for anybody of that note. You know, if you're missing a loved one, who's to say, you know, what day, you know, you want to choose to remember them or live vicariously through them via memory or some sort, like, so. I'm really indifferent about, you know, people, you know, making the post, but I do empathize with Vanessa Bryant when she did, you know, Stacey. She didn't really, you know, want teams, you know, doing tribute videos and things of that nature, you know, especially with games being played today. Like, you know, that could just be a bit overwhelming emotionally for the family. So I got what she was coming from that point. But everybody else in the world, people gonna fucking clout chase regardless, and people gonna post, and we live in a very social media driven world now, unfortunately. So, you know, those things are gonna happen. But you know, man, rest in peace to the GOAT, man, late great Kobe Bean Bryant, man. And Gianna and the rest of the passengers that, you know, lost their lives on that flight as well. Because it wasn't just Kobe and Gianna, like, you know, it was said that was, you know, tragically taken away from us that day. So rest in peace to everybody who, you know, passed away on the helicopter.
Yeah, I already know how this goes in what order. But yeah, man, honestly, man, I blacked out as far as social media goes. I tried it a little bit, but it was too overwhelming for me personally. I literally would just go and, I mean, every 5 posts is Kobe. And it's just one of those things where it's like, me personally, every time I see it, I go back to exactly when I got the news. And it brings me to a dark place to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? Just like I'm pretty sure everybody does. And it's just like, when they celebrate, just like you guys said, to reiterate, you know, when they celebrated his birthday, it was like, okay, you know, yeah, we say his birthday is like, that's what's up. You know, it's a celebration. But when it came to this, it was more like, in my opinion, if you're not deep down fan, like, I don't know how you can make it through going through social media. Like, it's like, you know, like, I see how you can, but I don't. Like, I don't see how you can do it. Like, it's a tragic day rather than a celebration, in my opinion. I can see how you can celebrate it, but I personally, I can't even get on social media, period, hardly at this moment. So just like you guys said, RIP to the greatest shooting guard. Sorry, Jordan, to ever put the shoes on.
And before the next person go, and maybe it's just a thing, like I said earlier, it's still sensitive, and like this is the 1 year anniversary. I don't know if that would die out as years progress, but maybe it's just that. I don't know.
No, I don't know. This is a fucking asshole. Don't get us canceled, nigga.
Bro, we not gonna get. Hey, you can't get canceled when you building your own stuff.
Yeah, true that. I don't know. I guess it's different for a nigga who's been watching Kobe since before the T-Mac. So, I mean, I feel like I share Darnell's sentiment, bro. Like, this shit really like bring me to a dark place. But I come out of that when I realize what Kobe lived for, what he stood for, and you know what I'm saying. Like, that makes it more like memorial-esque for me than you know what I'm saying, a remembrance of a tragedy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we take this day to remember that, nigga, you need to constantly have the Mamba mentality. I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying? This so happens to be the day he passed away, bro. But it's really more about remembering that he passed away. It's kind of like the resurgence, like gives people like that one little reminder, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you need to be on it. You need to get with it. You know what I'm saying? This is a great man that we lost. And you know what I'm saying, life, you know, can be taken away from you, bro. So you need to, you know, shape up. Okay, Pumpkin?
Do y'all think that, and this isn't necessarily about Kobe in general,
What's up, Coach?
What's up?
Coach in here with us. I know he wasn't on the intro. Coach got in. He in here with us. That's all that matters. He in here. Don't
L. Gordon. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Don't fear the coach is here. But do y'all think life is long, or do y'all think life is short? What is y'all perspective on that?
I believe life is all about perspective, right? You could either look at it as the glass is half full or the glass is half empty. I would like to think that, you know, every day is a new opportunity to live life to its fullest. So who's to say, you know, life isn't full of opportunities. One just has to recognize the opportunities and just seize them. So life is lifelong, right? So different people's lives are shorter than others. So that's why it's emphasis on what Carpe Diem, huh? Seize the day. Hey man, let's try. That's how I try to live my life anyway.
Edward, you look confused.
Bro, we've been doing that shit for 4 episodes straight.
No, I've been good since this one right here.
Nah, you made a name drop last week, but let's stay on topic so I don't have to edit.
I just scratch it.
No, I wasn't confused. I was looking at Coach Johnson. I wasn't confused though. I feel where Izzo was coming from.
Yeah, my bad. I made that face because my boy brought in some Latin, you know.
You know, just a little phrase for the intellectuals out there who watch, for the academians, you know.
I like it. I like it. My man getting
Donnell, is life or short, Donnell? Gosh.
Life is a gamble.
Well, I feel like it's two things. It's a test, and due to that test, it determines if your life is going to be long or short. Of course, with divine things that happen, like, you know, sickness that you can't control, certain ones, but other than that, it's about decisions that you make. Certain decisions that you make craft the life you're going to live, and I mean, due to that, it will determine if your life is short or long. But at the end of the day, you know, you live with the accomplishments you make, so make the best out of it to where no matter what time you go, you can be accomplished just like Kobe. To go back to it, you know, he was cut short, but at the end of the day, it's hard to say he didn't live a full life. It's all about the work you put into it. Next.
Well, I'm going to say I think life is long. That's it.
Nice.
Yeah, I think for me personally, obviously we can't account for untimely tragic deaths and so forth. I think sometimes if I feel like I'm not supposed to, I feel like if I'm not like constantly trying to get better or do what it is I'm supposed to do, like here on this earth, in my mind, I'd be like, what right does God have to like keep giving me breath if I ain't doing what I need to be doing out here? I always felt like life is long. Like if you handling your business, I've always felt like, like life is long. Obviously, you can't, like I said, you can't account for like untimely deaths, and it's like, oh my God, such and such and such. Like this person was like so young, or whatever the case may be. I mean, even like trying to have like perspective on like Kobe, it's like you feel like, nah, you supposed to see Kobe like at that age of like Bill Russell. You know what I'm saying? But like when you think about it, like if Kobe if Kobe truly like served his purpose in like the 20 years he was in the NBA, like if he served his purpose through inspiring us through playing the game of basketball and just through how we should go about our day to day or whatever our career choice is, like if he served his purpose, like did he really die too young? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's perspectives on either side of that, but I always feel like life is long. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. But yeah. So, I mean, you could touch on that, Coach Johnson, if you want. You don't have to, bro. We can
just real quick. I would say that life is short, in the sense that none of us really know when our time is up. And so because of that, life is short for whoever wants to be accomplished. I'm sure even though someone like Kobe accomplished much, or someone like Dr. King accomplished much, and were gone very early in life, would say, hey, they accomplished much, in a short time. They both would probably tell you, hey, they have more that they wanted to do. And like my wife's grandmother is 100 years old, and she still has much more that she wants to do, even though we can tell that it's coming to an end.
Bro, I would love to have her on the podcast if possible.
Yeah. Hey, also too, that I think about it, my great grandfather's 100 years old too.
Yo, Papa, you right. I don't think Papa's gonna be messing with the podcast, but see if Granny can come talk to us, give us some wisdom.
Yeah. So, but like both of them, they've lived long lives compared to many people. They still have much more that they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So, and they, no matter what your age is, you never know when your time is up. So in that sense, I would say that life is short.
Right on. Related to the Lakers. I'm gonna just go ahead and say this right now. LeBron James is getting hella scary, bro.
Oh, okay.
That dude, and the only reason I say he's getting scary right now is because LeBron James, throughout his career, from the 3-point line, in his career, he shot 34% from the field. And right now in this current NBA season, he is 41% from the field from behind the three.
Wow.
And
that dude's a specimen, dude.
And not the hype of the bet he made with Dennis the Menace, where he pulled up on the Rockets in the corner and turned. It's beyond that. That's extra. After that, the confidence he been shooting with, like I've seen the deep ball against the Cavs, and it was a 3-ball. It was a bucket they needed. When he need a bucket, he go to the rim. He pulled up from Dame range, like, man, I think I'll take this instead. LeBron James is getting scared with that 3-ball. He got everything else, and for him to be at this point in his career where he could just I'm unstoppable. I can do whatever I want to do, but to be still fine-tuning that 3-ball, and him himself even said it once before when he was just saying, those battles against the Spurs and stuff like that were that early on, you could disrespect his game and just stay off of him, but he's sniper game so far this year, shooting 41% from 3. And so I just wanted to put that out there. He's getting scary. When you think the man can't get any more scary, the man is shooting 41% from 3 right now, showing constant elevation in his game. Yeah.
This is coming from a die-hard, wrong choice of words. This is coming from a live hard Kobe fan. No disrespect to Bean, man, but LeBron is definitely looking quite literally unstoppable. If he has a 3-ball going, all you can do is pray to Jehovah Shalom that he does not hit the shot, because at that point, you at his beck and call, you at his mercy. If he's going to the basket, he's literally prime physical specimen. You can't stop that. I think his mid-range game gets disrespected a lot. I think LeBron James has had a polished mid-range game for quite some time now. which people like to disregard for whatever reason.
Added with Isaac a turnaround fadeaway too.
Yes, sir. It asked the Toronto Raptors in 2018 about the Toronto fadeaway in the mid-range game that he was displaying through games 3 through elimination. The man was literally dead eye.
Would like to make a PSA.
Okay, during my take, that's perfectly fine. Megamind, go ahead.
But sometimes you can be like Biggie, you go on and on and on and on, just like
I was really
anyways.
rapping this. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Pop.
My bad.
Bruh.
Well, it's only because it's something that I really didn't want to lose, and I feel like this hopefully broadcast to the whole entire world. Please shut the fuck up when LeBron James is playing basketball. And that goes out for fans, basketball players, refs, and everybody in the world. Shut the fuck up, because he will snap into this whole nother world that you do not want to see.
Thank you. I don't have to speak to y'all.
Hey, Sedacious, you know what? Hey, you know what I have given up? I've given up like debating about, just in terms of just like how LeBron goes about trying to win a game versus how Jordan or Kobe tries to go about winning the game, in terms of like, Kobe, give me the ball, I'm gonna shoot it.
Yeah, give it up.
Like LeBron, at first, you know, for me, at times, like for me, it came off as like being passive, and some of it was just me as a fan, like just wanting to see like the best player take the heroic game-winning shot. But like I've given up that debate. Like LeBron James is a proven winner, and he finds a way to get the job done. And if he passes it, so be it. LeBron James knows what the fuck he's doing.
Bro, I'm living and dying with the man's vantage point and his outlook on what he thought was best. Who am I to say what was best? Shit, I don't know. I ain't never played in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Jay-Z say, man, anybody can tell you how to do it. They never did it. So, you know.
This is all music to my ears. If we go back a couple of podcasts ago, I said they're going back to back. So I don't even want to say nothing else.
You and everybody else, bro. I said they were going back to back too.
Yeah. Man. I mean, I agree with you, Sedacious. I wouldn't. We talked about it last
Alex
week.
Caruso is playing like LeBron James right now.
Okay.
They're going back, though.
LeBron James.
No, I don't see any debate in that Sedacious that they going back. And yo, what you call it? Sound like he's not content with just getting one. AD, like he been seeming like, yo, like I'm far from like being content with just one.
It's not a dynasty until it's what, 2 or 3?
Yeah. Until it's 3 of them things.
And I want to say, this stat is correct. Braun is I'm not gonna make that up. I'm not sure, so I ain't gonna lie to y'all, good people.
LeBron James is the only player in NBA history to win a NBA title with 3 separate franchises. I know that's not the stat you were looking to throw out, but I will go ahead and throw that out to the masses who already knew that. But yes, as I always say,
he was the leader of these teams. Oh,
for sure. He definitely didn't play Robin on one team he had ever been on ever in his life.
Oh no!
Wait, you said he's the first player to what?
Moderator, take us away.
To win a championship with 3 teams?
3 different franchises.
3 different teams.
Is this news to you?
The Cavs, the Heat, the Lakers. Come on, Sedacious.
Is this news?
The first player to do
We're
that?
We're going to edit this out. Please edit
He's the first player to do that?
Yes, bro. Yes.
To win a championship with 3 different teams?
Yes.
Or 3?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely he is.
He's the first player to do that? Robert Ory?
That was the first.
He was only with Robert Ory was only with the Spurs and the Rockets.
And the Lakers.
So they won the championship.
And the Spurs. He did not win the championship with the Rockets.
Yes, he did.
He did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Rockets, and he went to the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq, and he won one with the Spurs.
The Spurs, yeah.
We like me players that like actually.
Hold up,
like,
MVP.
No, let's not edit
It was the
this shit
MVP.
out. Let's keep this shit for a lesson for the day. But let's
No, he
move
was the
on.
first player to win the MVP on 3 different teams.
Finals MVP on 3 different teams.
There we go. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
No.
The name of
I'm
this
like, hell no.
In a significant role.
The name of this week's episode is "Wording is Important." That's the name.
I was like, what? I love LeBron, but he ain't been the first one to do that.
Yeah. I was.
Robert Ory's still hollering for a documentary because he got what, 9, 7?
Yeah. But yeah, man. So Yes, man. Again,
He's the GOAT, bro.
Rest in peace
Good call,
to Kobe. What'd you say?
I ain't say nothing. Robert Ory, I ain't say nothing.
I said Robert Ory is the GOAT, bro.
Don't do this with Christian right now. We're gonna keep it moving.
Stay with football.
No, you know what? This is gonna make for great content because Christian never talks basketball. Why is Robert Ory the GOAT, Coach Johnson?
Oh, I'm just saying, usually when people talk about the GOATs, they always talk about rings. And he seems to have the most. So
Hell no.
that's all.
He probably the best agent.
I'll go ahead and say for everybody, that's an ignorant point that you just made. It had no validity to it whatsoever. And I want to gloss over it immediately. I want to segue into something meaningful that you can
criteria.
Isn't there a term for hopping on teams to get a ring?
Bandwagon.
I don't know what the term is.
All right, we can get to then. So speaking of Coach Johnson said that rings, that's the criteria everybody goes by. If you got the most rings,
yeah. How was your pick looking, Coach Johnson? If you don't mind me asking about Aaron
Rodgers. Hold on, bro. Hold on.
I know. I can't help it, bro. I'm just so ready to fucking dive in on the fuck, Nick.
Like I was saying, Coach Johnson said the criteria that most sports heads tend to go by is most rings. That means you to go. Robert Ory had 7, but obviously people wouldn't argue about Robert Ory being the GOAT in the NBA. However, if we transfer this conversation over to the NFL, Tom Brady is considered to be the GOAT, and he has 6 championship rings. Going for 7 now that he has beat Aaron Rodgers. Sedacious, correct me if I am wrong. You picked Green Bay to win, correct?
I did.
Okay, as well as Coach Johnson. So I picked, well, the rest of us, me, Isaac, and and Darnell, we all picked Green Bay. We all picked Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. We have to give first, before we get to Sedacious and Coach Johnson, we got to give Isaac some credit because I remember Isaac had been on the Green Bay bandwagon this whole one. He said they would get to the NFC Championship. And last week, when we was making our picks, he precisely told everybody now was the time to get off that bandwagon and follow the GOAT. Scheinhardt, Izzo, how did you come to that conclusion that it was time to let the Packers die and get with the winning team?
2 words. Thomas Brady.
That is enough. Now, I'm interested to get into this conversation because obviously I was sending y'all like the podcast.
On a more serious note, to make a brief 27-second point, and I will let you keep that thought. I just thought the Buccaneers were constructed better on offense. Brady has way more weapons at his disposal. It's literally a mismatch nightmare on the perimeter as far as the defensive backs were concerned. Although I did state that Jair Alexander would win his matchup. He would be an X factor, which he was. He had 2 picks. But, to no avail, Aaron Rodgers and the offense, they weren't able to capitalize off it. All in partially because of Matt LaFleur's passiveness and unwillingness to try to not lose the game instead of going to win the game with that bullshit call on not going for it on 4th and 1 with 1 minute and 56 seconds left, about to get a ball over to the best quarterback to ever walk God's green earth. That's a dumb decision. It should have been a fireable offense. Aaron Rodgers was rightfully pissed off afterwards. Take it away.
All right. So
on 4th and 1?
Yes, it was 4th and 1. Yeah.
At the end of the game?
They called it out.
It wasn't the end of the game, but they were in the red zone. They were driving and they were down like 6 points.
It was 156.
It was
they were down
4th and 8.
It was 4th and goal from the 8.
Yeah, it was from the 8, so.
Go for it. No, it was not.
You talking about the play? You talking about the 4th and goal where they gave it back to where they kicked the field goal and they gave it to the Patriots and they never got the ball back?
Yeah, it was fourth and goal from the 8.
That was on the 8.
You got to go for that.
It was a 4th and goal or 4th and 1?
It was
a 4th and goal.
4th and goal from the 8.
remember.
Oh yeah, you absolutely go for that. You still go for that.
No, I watched the game. I watched the game twice to make sure I precisely knew, because I knew he was gonna get to this point. It was on the 8-yard line, 4th and 8. He had 3 tries. All of them went to Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams, right?
Dumb and predictive play calling. Again,
all 3 of those passes.
Look,
all 3 of those passes. All 3 of those passes went to Devontae Adams, and on the last one, the 3rd and goal, still on the 8, I believe, is the controversial. He forced it to Devontae when he had Panko off wide open.
Yeah, yeah.
So before you go,
let's just get in this real quick, bro. Let's get into.
Hold on, before you go, I want to pose this question. This is what I want to pose, because, like I was saying, the reason I had put that in the group chat earlier with the podcast me and Christian first started trying to do. Sometimes you call players not plays. In that situation, I want to know, like how we did last week with Lamar Jackson. It's like, okay, how much blame is he supposed to get?
Mm-hmm.
We can scratch the 4th and 8 play. You still had 2 interceptions that your defense got you. On one of them, you actually went to them on the sideline, looked them in the eyes, and said, "Yo, get me that ball back." And they did that for you, and you still didn't get anything. So everybody wants
3 picks.
Overall, the 3 picks. I think they got a field goal. Well, no, they got a touchdown off of the.
They only got a field goal. It was
only a field. Okay. Yeah. But those 2 picks in the 4th, you got nothing off of those. Everybody wants to point to the 4th and 8.
Exactly.
Come on. Speak it.
I'm trying to go there. So everybody wants to talk about the 4th and 8 plays, but you had these 2 interceptions that set you up with decent field positioning. And so Aaron Rodgers is supposed to be great. He is better than Tom Brady. His arm is better. Devontae Adams, can't nobody stop him. Christian, I called you like 3 or 4 times on Sunday. I'm like, yo, why they're being schemed open beautifully. Beautifully for not even for Devontae, but for everybody. Aaron Rodgers could throw it wherever he wanted to. So, like I said, like we did when Lamar Jackson lost, how much responsibility does Aaron Rodgers give for this? Because everybody just wants to point
Zero. Let me get to it.
He's supposed to be one of the GOATs, and he gets he has no responsibility at all.
0. Let me get
damn fool, coach.
Fuck out of here, bro.
Let me get to it, Edward.
Man.
Edward, since you watched the game back.
Congratulations, coach.
I'm really in my feelings like that, and he said 0.
Since you watched the game back twice, Edward, on those drives,
bro,
right?
Please don't say nothing to me about the play call, bro.
I'm not saying nothing about play calling.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say nothing about play calling. How many times did Aaron Rodgers get hit or sacked on those drives?
Quite a few. One of those, I know he got sacked on the 3rd and whatever.
He really could have scored on the 4th and 8. On that 3rd down, he could have ran it in.
Oh, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, Isaac. Here was the difference in the game, right? First off, if you would have told me that Devontae Adams would have dropped a pass, I would have said you're lying. If you told me he would have dropped a touchdown, I would have said you're lying. He drops first touchdown. That's 4 points. Later on in the game, they go for 2, get that drop. That's 6 points.
Yeah, he did drop that. Lazard did drop that.
Now, the Packers were missing probably the best left tackle in the game, David Bakhtiari, right? And
who were they missing?
David Bakhtiari.
Premier
your boy, I'm forgetting his name. Number 90 for the Buccaneers. Had a field day.
Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yeah. JPP had a field day, and it was a great game plan by Todd Bowles, who's been doing this all year. And my thought going into the game was that, hey, you know what? The Packers would be able to scheme up enough where they'll be able to block long enough to make sure that these receivers will get open. Because as Elwood kept calling me, man, these guys are open all day. What's going on? Todd Bowles was able to get pressure on Aaron. And when he was able to get pressure on Aaron, the offense couldn't move at all. Right? But when the offense was able to move, right, they couldn't get any breaks. They couldn't get any breaks, and they kept beating themselves. Right? Aaron Rodgers throws for 3 touchdowns, 348
12 men
yards.
on the field isn't Aaron Rodgers' fault.
Huh?
That's like 12 men on the field isn't Aaron Rodgers' fault.
Yeah, but he throws for 348, 3 touchdowns, has 1 pick on a play that should have been called for a pass interference. That's all right though. And he has players dropping passes left and right. And you know they can't do anything. He has Kevin King on the other side, who plays the worst game that I've seen from a defensive back. Period.
What the fuck did you expect? Who was he holding? Who was he holding? Just answer me that.
Who? Kevin King?
Yes.
Kevin King. He held 18 Johnson. But no, I'm saying his whole game was terrible. His whole game was terrible from the first touchdown against Mike Williams. Every DB from JV, you're taught if you can't touch the receiver, your eyes should be on him. Don't go for the ball if you can't touch the receiver. Every DB from JV is taught that. All game, you saw him doing this. All game. It was pissing me off. I'm not even DB coach. I'm a wide receiver coach. It was pissing me off. Yeah, there's so many different reasons why they lost the game. It's not on Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers played the best game that he possibly could have played. He played well enough for him to win. He's the only quarterback. He's the only quarterback to have 3 championship games where he's thrown for 3+ touchdowns and not win any of them. Tom Brady is the only quarterback to play in either 3 or 4 championship games with multiple interceptions and win all of them. Now,
From his game, though.
Now,
Can I ask a quick question, bro?
The team around the two, right? Aaron Rodgers has carried the team the whole year. This team is not much better than the team last year. He carried the team the whole year. He's the MVP for a reason. And for people to put this blame on Aaron Rodgers, stop it.
Christian, here's you said 0. I'm not tripping off you saying. I'd be okay if you said 10, but to just utterly say 0 is just like, huh? But I understand your reasons. We don't have to go back and forth on it. Mm-hmm. That's fine. Aaron Rodgers, only quarterback to have, whatever you said, NFC Championship games, 300 passing yards and at least 1 touchdown. In the NFC Championship games he has had. And I don't know for myself, so I'm asking this question to y'all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had the stats, and I haven't sent it to y'all yet. Or whatever. I wanted to send it before the podcast. But I have a beautiful quote from my very own Coach Johnson. Did Aaron Rodgers play great in these games, like these NFC Championship games that he has not won? Did he play decent? Was it his fault when they didn't win? Was somebody out and hurt? Like, because you're telling me he's doing all these things in the best moments possible, but it's still not getting him over the hump to the Super Bowl. Now, I understand X's and O's to that.
Okay. I understand. Look. This point that I'm about to make, at least 3 of y'all on this podcast should understand this better than anyone else. A quarterback could play the best game ever, and the team around him could be so bad that they still lose. The 2020 Texans.
Okay, keep going. I'm
right.
Make it resonate. Okay.
I'm just saying. How many games did y'all watch this year where Deshaun Watson was the best player on the field? No.
Too many. Make your point.
Many games.
Too many.
Y'all watched. He was the best player on the field. By no argument. Y'all were still losing.
Your point. Come up on the street.
Man, the point is
Aaron Rodgers repeatedly in championship games has been the best player on the field, but his team could not get him over.
So Coach, so you repeating the same thing over and over. So whose fault is it?
Please tell me it's Matt. Okay, no. Let me skip, guys. Let me skip you. First, let's start here. In terms of not because y'all making it seem like he don't have help. you picked him for a reason because maybe you thought he could get the
pick
job
him.
done. Okay, do Deshaun Watson have a Devontae Adams?
No.
He had one.
Okay,
You
all right.
used to.
Okay, so
D-Hop not even on Devontae Adams level. Well, that's another conversation.
Deshaun
Another
Watson.
conversation for another day.
What?
It's another conversation for another day. Let's go.
I would agree. That boy raw.
But to say I'm not saying that you can't say he's better. You're entitled to your opinion. But to say he's not on his level, Coach, that's just stupid.
It's another conversation for another day. What happened in the offseason?
Stupidity is having and assessing the knowledge and just choosing to just say things otherwise. Like, so it's not an ignorant statement that you made. You knew, right? You just chose to speak out of stupidity, and I'm very
We'll have the conversation another time. Go ahead, Edward.
Yeah.
Ding 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 ding.
You made the comparison to, well, you said how many times has Deshaun Watson been the best player on the field and they still lost because of his team. The Packers are far better than the Houston Texans. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, that's why they were in the NFC Championship game. But as a team as a whole, and let's remind everybody, when I picked the Packers, what did I say? I said I'm going with the true GOAT, the better quarterback in the game.
How did that work out for you, bro? Because what you're doing, no. This is what you're doing. You're trying to ignore the fact that he still had opportunity. Period. He had opportunity.
I'm not ignoring that fact.
That's what it sounds like, because you still trying to. It sounds like you're still crowning him ahead of Tom Brady. And
he is a better quarterback.
No, wait. Before we're not gonna get off into that argument. What Christian is saying is, from a physical tools perspective, Aaron Rodgers is a far superior, physically gifted quarterback.
That's talent
than Tom Brady. Way more talent.
And mentally.
Has more physical. That's bullshit. That's bullshit, by the way.
No. And Coach Johnson, I have this quote. I haven't pulled it up, but you said yourself.
Go ahead.
Forget the stats. Sometimes stats lie.
Sometimes stats do lie.
Okay, bro. Like, why?
Like, so, stats wrong.
All right, so look, if he's that great, bro, if he is that great.
Yeah.
Why is he not getting over the hump? Let's ignore this past Sunday. Ignore this past Sunday. Why is he not getting the job done if he's so great? That's all I'm saying. Because here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Listen to me. We talking about y'all.
The argument is clear.
Him being better than Tom Brady. He doesn't have a great defense.
Yeah, we got to move.
What happened when Tom Brady's defense let him down? When Tom Brady's defense let him down in the Super Bowl, what did Tom Brady do? To your offense. To Kyle Shanahan, your offense. What did Tom Brady do when his defense wasn't all of that? In the biggest game, when they was dropping the ball, what did Tom Brady do? Thank you. You answered that. So why are y'all don't be winning games and they don't be coming up? I don't care how great you play.
Wait, so what you talking about in the Super Bowl?
He's talking about
where are you?
I'm gonna play moderator, bro. I'm gonna rein
y'all always find y'all like this. What I hate, bro.
I'm not trying to
dudes don't get the job done. Y'all don't never just say he didn't get the job done. He failed. Y'all always find every other reason besides
you fell into the trap, brother. You fell into the Brady versus Rodgers trap. This is not
Edward.
No, and you add to it. No,
the Patriots defense didn't
come alive. Today says no. We are not attending to their foolishness.
No, because
we're not getting into the Brady Rodgers debate.
Because Aaron Rodgers' team didn't play complimentary football.
Moderator, what was the question?
And the defense for Tampa Bay was lockdown, bro.
Darnell, you feel me, right?
So it's like
you gotta feel me.
I actually,
today,
I would love to agree with you. I'm gonna disagree with you.
No matter what, a leader is a leader.
The Packers defense wasn't. The Packers defense showed up in the second half. The offense didn't. Look,
but that's Aaron's job, isn't it? That's Aaron's job, right? That's part of his job description to be a leader and to help his team get to the promised land. So I totally agree with what Max Stacks is saying right now.
Aaron cannot block for himself. He can't block.
He can make it work.
He can't.
You can figure it out.
Once he gets the ball in people's
figure that
hands,
shit out.
Once he gets the ball in people's hands, he can't make them catch it. Once he gets the ball in people's hands, he can't make sure that they don't fumble it.
Last time I checked, Aaron Rodgers was a somewhat mobile quarterback.
He is.
Get out the pocket.
And he should have
I
ran and scored a touchdown on 3rd and 8.
Figure it out.
Sure.
Hey,
Sure. If
Coach,
y'all want to give him, if
figure
y'all want
it
to
out.
blame it on
Coach,
that, sure.
You can't
Fine.
say that Tom
Christian,
Brady
bro,
ran the ball.
we are not
How
saying it is entirely Aaron Rodgers' fault. That is not what I'm
Absolutely.
saying. That is not my sentiment. I'm saying if you're a leader of the team,
and
you're a
you is
leader of
as
the
great
team,
as
you gotta
we think
take
you
some of
are,
that, bro.
surpass
That's
our
right.
deficiencies and
No.
get us over the
Hey,
hump.
and I
like
do
Tom
agree,
Brady
not
has
My
100%.
done
argument is
time
simple,
again.
guys. My argument is simple, and I would think that you guys would be the ones
We
who
know what your
would,
argument
but
is.
what
Your
is
your
argument is to stand
quarterback-
on each side of the
quarterback, no
argument.
matter how
and go
good he
ahead and
is,
choose palatable
especially in the
points that
NFL,
fit.
can only carry the team so far.
Unless
Right.
you're Tom Brady.
Unless you're Tom Brady and you can
Right.
carry
Tom Brady-
me on
No,
your
no,
side.
no,
Tom
stop.
Brady got
Y'all stop that
carried.
blasphemy
He
right
got carried.
Y'all stop
The
that blasphemy.
defense carried him over
Yeah,
the
he got
hump.
carried.
They
He got
scored
carried.
3 points in
Y'all
the
stop that
second
shit.
half.
I'm saying, yes, he didn't play great in the second half. I'm talking about with a complete body of work. His work compared to Aaron Rodgers is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about this
Aaron
one
Rodgers is a
game.
better quarterback.
All right.
No, wait. So Tom Brady's stats were better than Aaron
Who's
Rodgers
a better
that game.
leader?
Oh,
Who's a better leader of their team?
Tom Brady is a better
Probably
leader.
Tom Brady's stats were better than
There
Aaron
we
Rodgers
go.
this last game.
That's what he's trying to figure out. That's the big problem. It's about who's the leader and who's the better
Aaron
quarterback.
Rodgers is not
Christian
a
believes
great
he's the better
leader of
quarterback.
men.
Everyone
He's a
believes he's the
great
better
quarterback and possibly
leader,
top 2
which is
most
total all
talented
facts on
quarterbacks
both
ever.
sides.
A lot of
I
people
think
are
we-
talking at the same time, and I just not feeling the
I think we
respect
said
tonight.
stuff.
So I'm gonna just shut the fuck up because obviously what the fuck I got to say don't mean shit. Y'all can talk about what y'all want to talk about.
all I gotta
So,
say is
Aaron
Aaron Rodgers
Rodgers-
threw for more yards. He had a better passer rating. He had a better QBR this game. Tom Brady did everything to throw the game away.
And Aaron Rodgers still couldn't find a way. Next topic, bro.
The Buccaneers defense bailed Tom Brady out, like the
Right.
Patriots defenses used to do all the time. So
So,
let's go.
so
Next
pretty much, and you don't believe that Aaron Rodgers deserves no blame at all.
Bro, he
And
been
hey,
said that already.
come on, man.
Stop you doing
Hey,
that.
we gotta let someone go. Yeah, we gotta do
Your
that to the
point is
defense.
already
Yeah.
valid. Your point is already
Is that
valid.
what he said?
Sedacious. Everybody be quiet. Everybody be quiet,
He
please.
said that at the
Sedacious.
beginning,
What is your
bro.
take? What is your take on Aaron Rodgers in the game? Because you just been giggling and laughing. What side of
No. So I feel like Aaron Rodgers still played better than Tom Brady. I don't get what we're talking about here. He still played better than him. So I don't so is Tom Brady not the GOAT because he got
Tom Brady is
outside?
the more accomplished quarterback. He's the greatest as far as accolades, numbers, and winning is concerned, winning percentage. Aaron Rodgers is the more talented quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, for a fact, will go down as top 2 most talented quarterbacks to ever walk God's green earth.
All right.
Number 1 being Patrick
I know to
Mahomes.
clear
It's
this
all
up.
said and done.
I know to clear this up.
And that's fact.
I believe
Preach.
Right.
that
You agree
Aaron
with that?
Rodgers has 20%.
Coach, can you agree with that?
Yeah.
20%.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done, Patrick Mahomes will go
A
down
great
as most
talent?
talented. Aaron
Can I
Rodgers
go?
number 2.
Can I go?
player are
Okay.
2 different things. I just want to say that.
Can I go 20%? I think Aaron Rodgers has 20% to blame for
Man,
the
we
loss.
done hung out on this game.
No,
long.
Sedacious has this. I haven't heard him because we've been talking over. Let him go.
Right. I get to say that. I think Aaron Rodgers
Now y'all give a fuck.
had 20 because when you had all that asshole open space to score and you still
Yeah, he
throw
could
the
have
ball,
ran that, bro.
like
He
I'm
coulda
sorry,
ran
like
it.
I'm sorry, what am I supposed to say to that?
Yeah,
Like,
I ain't gonna
look
lie.
it up.
Aaron got some culpability in
That
there
was the
because
game,
on that
bro.
3rd and 8, he had a walk-in
We can
touchdown.
say whatever we want to say. That
If he
nigga
runs,
muff that shit.
if he runs on 3rd and 8, and Coach, you can agree
Yeah,
with me.
I
He
agree
had
with
the
you.
whole right
I'm
side
not
of the
sure.
field
I'm not
open
sure if he
if
would
he
have scored,
tried to
but
run.
he definitely would have got close.
He gives
If he didn't.
He gives an excuse in the press conference and says, "I thought we would have had 4 downs." What the fuck do you think you would have had 4 downs, Aaron? You know your coach ain't living like that.
Tom Brady did
You
that
know,
earlier in the year.
no, wait, but he's asking a specific question about. I'm talking about Matt LaFleur.
At LaFleur.
Look, Aaron Rodgers has some culpability in it,
Yeah.
in my opinion. What percentage you want to put on it, that's up to you. That's subjective. But Aaron Rodgers had a chance to be the hero and go up and tie the game and go for the go-ahead, with the extra point.
He
And
did
to
some
put him up,
Brady shit.
to put him up 1, bro. And,
Yeah.
and he missed.
Hey,
He
real
missed the
quick,
opportunity.
Era. I know you want to go off this game. Just to, I'm a somewhat defend Matt LaFleur. on the decision to kick the field goal on 4th and 8. Mind you guys, the offense had been struggling the entire fourth quarter, right? Twice, the defense has stopped the Buccaneers. 3 times on the 8-yard line, they tried to score a touchdown. They couldn't. They have been the best red zone team all year, but they had trouble all game in the red zone, right? They had trouble all game in the red zone.
And that was
at
on
that
the
point,
offensive line,
I wasn't
right?
even confident. I wasn't even confident that they could score. So if I wasn't I had to make a decision, I would have made the same decision as Matt LaFleur. Hey, my offense doesn't seem to be able to score right now in the red zone. We got to take our chances. Our defense has stopped them twice.
And the
we have to
offense
take our
was
chances that
struggling
way.
because the offensive line were out a few guys.
Huh?
I say, and the Packers' offense was struggling because they weren't at full strength on the offensive line.
That was one reason. I think their issues in the red zone. Their issues in the red zone had more to do with their receivers.
All right.
Can I say something real quick,
No,
though?
keep going, Christian. What were the other reasons? Red zone, David Bakhtiari. What else? Keep going. Read them off.
Man, bro. Okay,
Receivers dropping the ball.
He got more excuses than somebody
Aaron
going
Jones
to jail,
fumbling the
bro.
ball.
Let's move on to the next topic, bro. I'm sick of hearing the excuses that you're making for
Was it Kevin King, right? We can say Kevin King.
Kevin King.
Played like a junior.
Bro, hey, I feel bad for him too, man, because he's about to be a free agent.
Bro, and I hate
Ain't nobody can pick that up, bro.
What? Right, bro. Like,
Hey, man.
y'all thinking bad? Y'all picking Tom Brady on the Super Bowl? Y'all thinking bad about Tom Brady? Y'all picking this thing for the Super Bowl?
I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah, I want to see that. There's no way.
I'm not sure
Can I
yet.
make a little side note? It's kind of related to it, but not all the way.
Patrick Mahomes should have won the first one with him. He should have went to the Super Bowl when Tom Brady beat him on that bullshit pass interference, so that offsides call.
Oh, yeah. Let me talk about that real quick.
Because Tom Brady been by
this is the second time. This is the second time in a championship game that
Brady got helped out by a bullshit call.
That too, but also too, that AFC Championship game you talking about, right? He threw a pick. He threw a pick. And had the BS call. Came back and then went down and scored. Before he threw that touchdown to Scotty Miller, 2 plays before that, Green Bay drops a pick. He throws an interception. They drop it. Hits dude right in the hands. 2 plays later, they score a touchdown.
And I mean, he dropped those 2, and Aaron Rodgers still got 3 more later. All right. So, talking about coaching, with the everybody and their mama, they got the Chiefs. Coach Johnson has time and time again picked X's and O's over players. That hasn't did anything for him with his picks throughout the playoffs. But I don't really think this game is much about X's and O's. I think just eye candy. Everybody got the Chiefs winning.
No, because honestly, I'll say for my reasons for picking the Chiefs, a majority of the percentage I would succumb to be Patrick Mahomes being the reason for them winning, but I do believe Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid will call a masterful game offensively as they did against the Packers. As you can see throughout times in that game, they were just scheming people, coach, as you would say, scheming folks wide open as they should. And, if you accompany great scheme with great players, quite frankly, you got something that you probably can't stop unless some poor decisions are made on part of Patrick Mahomes. And he's not too fond of making those poor decisions. So with all that being said, I just have his brilliance surpassing the brilliance of Brady due to him being a more physically gifted player, along with him still having that youth on his side and the arm talent. Though Brady has seen it all from a defensive standpoint, I think Patrick Mahomes and his offense will make a little bit more plays, more timely spots, more so than the Bucks. As we saw, Tom Brady has been known to make some mistakes late in game, especially as he's gotten older. But as history has taught us, he doesn't really pay for those mistakes as many times as he probably should. as far as, him throwing them 3 picks and stuff like that. But I think the Chiefs defense is opportunistic as well in creating those turnovers. And I think they have enough talent in the DB core to go ahead and, hold their own. So I believe Tyron will make some timely plays. I believe Chris Jones on the D-line will make some timely plays for him. And I just think Patrick will go out there and be Patrick. And not to mention, the man Tyreek Hill had 200 fucking yards in the first quarter the last time they played. The shit wasn't close.
Yeah, the Saints had beat up on the Bucks.
I'm just saying, bro. I haven't seen.
All right, so check this here out.
Take advantage of
with the offensive line, I wouldn't say it may be completely like against the Packers, but I know somebody, I forget their name, somebody for the Chiefs on their offensive line recently went down the last game.
Right tackle.
Yeah, so you talk about the Bucks defensive front. They put some pressure on Patrick. Who knows what the game may end up being. So that's that as far as X's and O's on my behalf. I'm just going to live and die on the ship of Tom Brady. That's as simple as that for me. But Christian, I know you.
Anybody want to make a bet with me on this podcast? We can too. $100 to get in on the bet. So
we 2 weeks out. We 2 weeks out from the Super Bowl or whatever, roughly. And if you want to change your pick down the road, that's fine. But I know you probably take some time with yours, Coach Johnson, even though we still know you're gonna say the things that the Chiefs do. I don't know why you take so long to do that. But talk about the offensive. Well, not the offense, but really all the coordinators. I mean, you a wide receivers coach. You always all your games are being based off what the coordinators are doing. But the Bucks, all black primary coaching coordinators, and you got Keith Armstrong, special teams coach, Todd Bowles, the defensive coach, Harold Goodwin, assistant head coach, and also assistant with the run game. Then you also got Byron Leftwich with the offensive coordinator. So like, what? Despite the past game, and people like picking. Well, they got hot late going into the finishing out the season, and thus far up until the Super Bowl, they have to win all their games on the road. What have you been seeing that's like unique or special about how they've been finding a way to like get the job done, whether it's special teams, defense, or the offense?
I think this is a very special coaching staff. Bruce Arians, when he got hired last year, he quickly put this staff together, and it kind of, I don't know why, but it kind of got pushed under the radar that he had basically all black staff when it came to like the highest positions on his coaching staff, and he did that on purpose. And I think that a lot of people forget that Bruce Arians didn't grow up with a silver spoon in his mouth. He's a hillbilly. He come from poor white trash, and so he had a hard road growing up, and he had a hard road trying to become a head coach in the NFL. He didn't get his first head coaching gig until he was 63. And so I think since he experienced that himself, and he experienced, different hard things, he wanted to make sure that he gave people an opportunity. He also has women on his staff too, on purpose to make sure that people understand that, hey, look, it's other folks that can coach. And so, and they've done well. Even last year, they had the number one offense last year. People forget that. They had the number one offense.
Most picks last year too.
Yeah, they did. But I'm saying they had the number one offense. If Jameis Winston doesn't throw 30 picks, if he only throws 15, they're a 12-win team last year. You know what I'm saying? So they had a strong
pick. That is insane.
Yeah. They had a strong offense and defense last year. Special teams has been pretty good. Nothing spectacular, but it's been pretty good. So I think that Byron Leftwich will end up getting a head coaching gig within the next couple of years. Todd Bowles should get another chance. So yeah, I like everything that they've been doing for the past 2 years.
No, that's dope. I didn't know that background about What's the Bucks head coach again?
Bruce Arians.
Yeah.
Bruce Arians. Yeah, I didn't know that background on Bruce Arians. So that's pretty dope. I can respect what he's doing. And
Yeah, the Cardinals, bro.
So are we not locking in picks? We not going. No, come on, y'all. Y'all know who y'all want to go for the Super Bowl.
We got 2 weeks, bro. I mean,
Coach Johnson, he be acting.
I got
he be
some
acting like
things to look at, man.
he be acting like he really be studying, bro. He don't be studying, bro.
I got to look at some things, man. I got
brother.
Who you got, Darnell?
My homeboy. Yeah.
Homeboy, dude.
Damn.
He got up next, passing of the torch, brother.
I love it.
Darnell,
sorry, man. Passing of the torch.
Don't you dare pick Tom Brady next week, bro. I'm all Tom Brady on my lonesome. I'm on the Tom Brady island. Yeah, man. Christian, break down to me, like, throughout the course of a game and throughout the course of just an NFL season, the way the coaching hierarchy work. And I say that with this context, like, play high school basketball, play, and covered college basketball and stuff like that up close. And for the most part, and from my basketball perspective, like, you sometimes really only see like the head coach in the forefront, right? It's like the head coach, late game situation, drawing to the play, And so, and then I listening to your you was talking about where Eric Bieniemy should go and possibly Jacksonville, and how Urban Meyer saying he only there to be the CEO, he ain't calling plays and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, for me, just in terms of like how coaching works in the NFL, like, I'd be like, yeah, head coach. What do you mean he ain't calling plays? But obviously you have your offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, and so forth. Like, so like, does it vary on every team? Like, I know Eric Reed is a very prominent offensive mind, so he's probably calling plays as a head coach. But like, does it vary on every team? Is it like the defensive coordinator is strictly the only person calling defensive plays, or like how does that structuring work on like team to team?
Yeah.
Most teams.
Yeah, it depends from team to team. So
during a game.
Yeah, so some teams like the 49ers, the Rams, the Cardinals, their head coach, who once was an offensive coordinator, they're the ones calling the plays, right? So Shanahan's calling the plays. He's the one making up the game plan throughout the week. He has help from the offense, from whoever has the title as offensive coordinator, and stuff like that. But he is calling in, hey, we're going this formation, this play at this time. He's doing that during the game. In other situations, you'll have maybe you have a defensive type of head coach or a CEO type head coach that doesn't necessarily get involved in the play calling, and so you have someone who's designated, hey, all they're doing is calling offensive plays, or all they're doing is calling defensive plays. So someone like Belichick, some years he's calling the defense, or some games he might call the defense, even if he has a defensive coordinator on staff. I'm trying to figure out if there's another Mike Vrabel this year. He called the defense with the help of other coaches on the staff, because their defensive coordinator last year retired. So that happens every once in a while, but it's more often on the with offensive head coaches who used to be coordinators. Sometimes they'll end up calling plays, but it's probably about 25% of teams, 25-30% of teams do it like that. So, and then you got the Chiefs where they have sometimes Andy Reid's calling the plays, sometimes they're calling it.
They got two juggernauts, nigga. Let's just call that what that is. OC and head coach is two offensive juggernauts. Can't be fucked with. Sorry, I just had to get that out.
I'm not sure. Hey, look, listen. This is a very unpopular opinion.
Hold on, before you say that, keep your thought. Everybody, close your eyes and take a deep breath, and don't, whatever he says, don't rebuttal. Just let him go.
Man, that's bullshit. You don't get to do that with me. You the only one to get that fucking treatment, man. Say what you guys are saying. If it's some bullshit, I'm gonna call you out of your shit.
All right, go ahead.
Let's go.
I'm not sure how great of a play caller Eric Bieniemy is.
Right, exactly. It's all Andy Reid. Stop playing.
I'm not saying he's not great. I'm saying I'm not as sure as everybody else is. Everybody else is calling him this genius.
Bro, if I ain't mistaken, bro, I can probably pull some clips with you calling him a genius this season too, bro. So what's the reneging going on for?
Matter of fact, Poochie, don't even. I'm gonna tell you to take your own advice. Don't rebuttal me. Go and pull the clips. Go and pull the clips, and we gonna have a segment on next week's show. I'm calling it now, where we make Coach Johnson out to be a fucking liar and eat his words. We'll pull clips of him backtracking.
I think previously what I've said. And especially when Bill O'Brien got fired, and I said the Texans should go after Eric Bieniemy. I think that he is a great offensive mind, which a lot of coaches in the NFL are. But I think he is a great offensive mind because I've seen interviews with him. And I've seen how he digs in the tape and stuff like that. But I'm just not sure he's as great though as people are making him out to be. And I'm also not sure once he does get a head coaching opportunity and he gets a chance to be on his own, I'm not sure he's going to get fairly criticized. Either there are going to be a bunch of people going to make excuses for him if he doesn't do great, or if he does do great, there will be a bunch of people who just aren't going to accept it because of how much we've kind of put him up as this idol. Right, as much talk as he gets, Byron Leftwich should get the same amount of talk, if not more. As much talk as he gets, everyone. Every time I go on Twitter, everyone's Airbnb. No one's talking about Byron Leftwich. Byron Leftwich had a 5,000-yard passer last year, and he's gotten his team to the Super Bowl this year.
Pause.
And he's the one calling plays, no one else.
Pause, Coach Johnson. Sedacious, go.
I don't know. We fried this shit out of Byron Leftwich in the middle of the season, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
How?
But we fried. You don't remember the game?
Are we gonna talk about the Chiefs and Bills game, or we just decided that's not worth?
I mean, there's nothing really to talk about.
Okay. Well,
no, we was gonna finish off on that, but so that we got to make Sedacious talk because he's so theatrical with his facial expression. But like, what's your gripe with what Christian said on?
We didn't roast the shit out of every coordinator on Tampa Bay in the middle of the season. We didn't roast Todd Bowles and Byron Leftwich.
No.
When?
We did.
I don't remember that.
Oh, okay. I'll go find.
You must have been high that day, bro.
Don't worry. I'll go find those clips. Don't worry. But it was a game that Tampa Bay got their ass smacked on, and we was like, oh well, it was because Byron Leftwich and Todd Bowles didn't come to play today. They just got out coached. I remember that vividly. But it's okay if y'all don't.
Wait.
But
can we just mark this down and pull those clips so we can literally have a segment to where we Okay, so we good on that. Okay, so because all of this is gonna turn into his coaches keep talking and then I just keep getting mad. So can we please talk about the Chiefs?
Go ahead.
I think what we see as Eric Bieniemy is really him and Andy Reid together.
It's a combination of all three.
And honestly, if Eric Bieniemy was to leave the Chiefs, I think they'll do exactly what they're doing, and Eric Bieniemy would not be able to hold shit up against Andy Reid if they was to do it. That's how I feel. But everybody thinks that like is really, you know what I'm saying? You get praise when you on the team that everybody fuck with. You the OC of the Chiefs, of course you're gonna get praised. But when you go become a head coach, that's a whole different ball game.
How much? Okay, so I ask y'all this in terms of credit, right? Is the Chiefs' success? How much of that is Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy combined compared to Kelsey, my homeboy, Hill?
That nigga said he best, bro. Andy Reid and that boy Eric Bieniemy, they schemed them open, bro. It's like a ear. You can't penetrate.
Somebody got a Postmates delivery.
Alexa, stop.
I'm not sure.
It's an impenetrable offense, bro. It's like nobody can stop it. Either you're gonna take your whole defense and go deep with Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce gonna come and catch everything underneath. No one can stop that.
I mean, hey, a lot of credit does need to go to the players. I mean, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and Mahomes are three of the best players in the league. I mean, they're arguably the best of their position on each guy, and you know, there's a legit argument you can make. And so it's you know, it's hard for an NFL play caller to mess that up, I would say. But the thing is with Andy Reid, we've seen him do this since he was the head coach of the Eagles. I mean, this dude has people talking about Donovan McNabb to be a Hall of Famer, a legit pocket passer. I mean, you know, Andy Reid has no doubt proven his genius.
I'm black.
I'm just not so sure on Eric Bieniemy. I'm not saying that he's not. I'm just saying I'm not as sure as everybody else is.
Me neither. I second that.
All right. Yo, Izzo, please go find whatever clips you need pulled for next. Well, we'll do that after the season. Sedacious, are you finally happy that the Josh Allen talk has been put to rest?
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad y'all finally got to see what he really was about. I mean, come on, now, stop it.
I mean, but he lost against the Super Bowl winning team.
Yeah, that sounds like an excuse.
That's what people would say. I'm just saying.
It is what it is. You see what happened when they double team Stephon Diggs? Like, you can't get shit out of the boy. You seen that, right?
They just don't have they don't have a legit number 2 receiver to go to. That's really the next step for the team. They need to find a viable second option.
Yeah, that sounds like an excuse. That sounds like some Lamar Jackson shit.
Him I had to losing because they fucking suck.
Bro, we have to start
giving a reason why they lost, bro. It's not all because Josh
Allen. There needs. I don't know if you're about to say this, Christian, but for football, bro, there needs to be a metric system on how to accordingly give out blame, because there's always an excuse for quarterbacks, bro.
Exactly.
Always an excuse for quarterbacks, bro. Always. It no matter who the
so y'all feel like Josh Allen.
But also
no, I'm not saying I told you after his first pick, I started watching Netflix. I already knew what the outcome was gonna be. I was just trying to give it a chance. But what I feel like I'm gonna go back down a dark road, so I'm gonna stop talking.
I think what we do in football too much because it's become so quarterback centric, though. We give them way more credit than they deserve, and then we put way more blame on them than they deserve.
Ain't that always been the history of being a quarterback?
I don't do that. But
not necessarily. I mean, that's once the game became such a passing league. So, which is actually funny because I didn't realize how new this actually is, because I started watching games from 2009, and to see how they talk about you want to. I'm talking about commentators. Oh, you want to get to 25, 30 runs in the game. That's the game plan that we need to get to. I'm like, dang, bro, no one says that nowadays. So this is 11 years ago, right? People still wanted a quarterback, but it wasn't as QB centric as it is right now. And because it is so QB centric, we put way too much credit on QBs when they win, and we put oftentimes way more blame than they deserve when they lose. It's still a team sport. It is.
Hey, Isaac, bro, forgive me, dog. You're gonna hate me for it, bro, but I ask for your forgiveness in advance. Please forgive me, dog. I just want to know, Coach Johnson. Y'all are gonna hate me for this question. I just want to know, Coach Johnson.
Before you do it, E. Let this be your rapping segment, my boy. Because hey, bro.
You already know.
Dude, don't do it, man. Because we gotta, man. Hey, I'm gonna just tell you, look, you got 2.5 minutes to get your roll off on him. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yo, I'm put on
all right, Coach Johnson.
Yeah.
We at 115. Coach Johnson.
Yeah.
What scenario would you deem appropriate to place the blame on Aaron Rodgers?
2 minutes. Go.
I mean, there's a bunch of scenarios. We threw 3 picks.
2 minutes, Christian.
I just did it. If he threw
All
3
right.
interceptions, it'll be on him. I mean, I don't understand.
All right.
All right, everybody. We want to thank y'all for tuning in.
That's a fucking cop out. You pussy as hell for that, man.
Hey, bro. Hey, I've come to the realization that
If he wet the bed, I mean,
I've come to the realization, as the rest of our fans will, it may change down the road once we like 1,000 episodes in, but I've come to the acceptance that if Christian Dick was on fire, he wouldn't know how to make up his mind if he wanted more gasoline or water.
I just gave you an answer.
But yeah, you did, bro. You gave me an answer, dog. I ain't say you didn't.
Who fault is that Aaron Rodgers didn't run that goddamn touchdown in? Who fault is that Aaron Rodgers saw all that bad?
His discount wasn't double checked.
That was our fault. Lazard was like, take that hoe. Oh!
Next week's episode is gonna be real special. We're gonna break down some plays for y'all, leading y'all into the Super Bowl to get y'all some X's and O's to like look at. I know when I was watching I'm saying this as I rap. When I was watching the Packers, I was just like, bro, I don't know how they're gonna figure this shit out against the Chiefs. So like I know like X's and O's wise, like they not favorite, but like I said, I'm gonna die on the ship with Tom Brady. But yo, man, thank y'all again for watching Respect the Game. Like I said, again, next week, we're going to allow y'all to respect the game of football a little bit more, give y'all some X's and O's to break down. And yeah, man, again, thank y'all for whoever out there listening, whether you are mama, daddy, sister, brother, uncle, auntie, or somebody else who know us by way of third cousin removed, whatever. If you watching us, we appreciate it. Keep showing us love, whether you see us in person, get in them comments, hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you want, wherever you hearing us at, and keep sharing our stuff and keep helping us build. We thank y'all. We don't take y'all listening for granted. Catch y'all next week. Respect the Game podcast.
Follow you Stacks on YouTube.
True.